Greetings, fellow songwriters and seekers. Welcome to Muse and Measure, where we connect spiritual practice with songwriting craft. This is episode 1B of the spiritual practice of songwriting, where we're going to look at all the different aspects of songwriting and how they connect to some kind of spiritual practice. In the last episode, we looked at using the creative act as a way of transforming the kind of base and ugly and, depraved inner state that we might find ourselves in and transforming it into something beautiful and valuable. So I like to call this emotional alchemy, because we're really transforming something that really has, is really kind of maybe even destructive for our mental state and is really keeping us bogged down, and we're finding a way to transform that into something and also transform ourselves and allow for transcendence. And when I think of musical examples of this, the first one I go to is, of course, the blues. When you think about the conditions that the blues came out of, there's nothing more vile or depraved than that. This horrible institution of slavery that lasted in the United States for almost 300 years, and where these people were just treated awfully. From that horrible condition, these people invented this incredibly beautiful music, which is the basically foundation for all genres of American music. So for these people who were so badly treated, so marginalized in society, to create something that is now the dominant cultural force musically in the world is an incredible act of emotional alchemy, and really a testament to the brilliance of these people and their perseverance through the worst of possible situations. And so we can take that and our situation, which is obviously much better, much more privileged, and take that as inspiration, that no matter how bad we're feeling in our current situation, we can use whatever we have, whatever state you're in, is a valid starting point for creating something wonderful and beautiful and transcending it through that process. So I just want to look at a couple different examples. That's why this is a 1B as opposed to a brand new topic, because I just want to elaborate on what we discussed last time. So turning, say, something like heartbreak into something that is kind of universally healing and a point of universal communication and catharsis is a really powerful tool of songwriting. So this is kind of the silver lining when you're going through like a breakup, is that you know that you're in this raw emotional state that hopefully you're going to transcend. And you can use that as a way of really tapping into something that's very, very raw and that will connect with other people. So a beautiful example of this is, of course, Adele's Someone Like You, where she has this encounter with her ex and see that he's moved on, and obviously she hasn't. I heard that you settled down, that you found a girl, that you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. I guess he gave you things I couldn't give to you. Okay? It's a really beautiful song, and it's a really powerful testament to the simplicity of lyrics and the directness of that. And so many people have gotten comfort from that song and could really resonate with her emotions in that. I know that the story with that is that they recorded a demo of it right when she was in the midst of this breakup and really, really feeling that rawness in her emotion. And then they re-recorded it later, but they realized that they needed to use the original vocals from when she was in the heart of the breakup, because those were the most expressive and the most direct, and people could really feel the emotion of what she was going through. So this is a brilliant use of something that is a breakup. In fact, so many people have written their best work when they're in a condition of a breakup. So you can really use, whatever bad situation you're in to write something really beautiful. And hopefully it helps you heal. And if you're like Adele, it will help you become a big star and become world famous, because so many people will connect with that. And that's what we want to do with our songwriting. What we want to communicate is the honesty of what's happening to me right in this moment. Now, obviously, hopefully you're not going through constant breakups. If you are, maybe you need to take a look at that you're constantly moving on and falling in love and breaking up. But no matter what your emotional state is in the moment, you just want to be honest with that in your music. And so this is what's happening right now. As Bobby Louise Hawkins, the great author, you said, this is what's happening right in this moment. So that's your starting point for writing your song, is to just be honest about what's going on in the moment. Okay. Another example, Bob Dylan, arguably one of the great songwriters of all time. Rolling Stone rated him the best songwriter of all time. They like to come up with lists of all time. And, you know, when his girlfriend, Susie Rotolo, she went off to Italy and kind of broke up with him, he wrote this great song called Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. It ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, it'll never do somehow. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm a-traveling on. But don't think twice, it's all right. Okay? So this is just another song about a breakup, but he kind of makes it into this kind of folksy, in a folksy idiom, and makes it a universal song for breaking up. And kind of, you see that the hook is "Don't think twice, it's all right," which he's already transcending the situation. So even though he's processing this heartbreak, he's already kind of moved past it into this realm of acceptance and don't think twice, it's all right. Don't bother yourself, I'll be okay. So songs can really be this possibility of catharsis, of getting out of a bad situation, turning something that's really rough and hurtful into something that is beautiful and helps you get over it. So songs can be companions. They can help you hold your hand through the journey. I know we use other songs of other people when we're going through hard times, that we find comfort in them. So you can also use your own songs for that. And you can think about that as you're writing this. I'm, in a very kind of bodhisattva way, I'm taking on all the suffering of all these other people, and I'm going through this with the hopes that through my process, I'm going to help other people transcend this same situation. Okay? So these songs can really be best friends in this. Even if you don't have somebody you can rely on, you don't have a real person who you can confide in, your songs can be that. It can be your companions. They can be testimonies. So you can really just, like, if you feel like shouting out some kind of injustice or some kind of horrible thing that's happened to you, or you're just pissed off at somebody, they are a way of just getting that out and letting it be known, this injustice that's happened. Okay? A lot of Bob Dylan songs are like that, what he called finger-pointing songs. Okay? And they can also be letters to the future, like maybe you can't get over what's going on with you right now. You're just too caught up in it. It's too painful. It's too all-consuming. Well, they can be aspirational letters to the future. So this is how I'm going to be in the future. So even with Adele's song, you know, she said, you know, this is, never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. So maybe she wasn't really feeling that in the moment, but she's aspiring that this is the person she wants to be, someone who can accept this, and instead of feeling jealous and that the other person would die or have some kind of calamity or that their new partner would just fall by the wayside, this is an aspirational, I want this to be. I want to be that person who can want those things. So these are ways that you can really transform your emotional state through the process of songwriting, which is going to transform your psychological state and also connect you with kind of a broader, more universal view of the world, give you a greater perspective and wisdom that is really the goal of spiritual practice as well. Being able to not be so consumed by whatever the waves and the tides going in and out in your mind, the emotional ebb and flow, not being so susceptible to that and not taking every little thought that comes in your head and being hooked by it and being all consumed by it, so that you live in a constant hell where you have no rock, no foundation, no basis of equanimity to rely on when you hit these storms in your life. So that's how songwriting and the creative process can really help us through this. So just a little bit of one little homework assignment. So what songs that you know about are an example of this emotional alchemy? So if you could put your answers in the comments down below. If you don't want to post publicly, that's fine. Send me an email at tyler@musemeasure.com. Also, if you have any questions, anything you want me to address in this series, please shoot me an email, or you can post it in the comments down below. And if you are getting a lot out of this series, or you want to follow along and deepen your songwriting practice and your spiritual practice, hit the little guy with on the lotus down below so you can subscribe and have all these come into your feed as they come along. So until next time, best of luck with your songwriting and your spiritual practice, and I'll see you soon.